That's You're good, Jeremy? Okay. We'll go ahead and get started. Georgia Tech interim head coach Brent Key. Coach, if you could open this up with some remarks before we take questions.
Yeah, outstanding gameplay by our guys. In all phases, those guys, we developed a plan during the week. They understood the plan. The plan might not have made sense to a lot of people, but it made sense to the people that came on that plane up here to go play. They understood it. They bought into it. They believed in it. And regardless of what the score was in the game, they stuck to that. And they believed that sticking to the plan would give them the outcome they wanted. And can't say enough about these kids from what they've been through the last couple of months and the resiliency that they have, and the way they prepare during the week, the way they prepare on Friday and Saturdays before the game, after the physical preparation is done, the belief that they have in themselves, the belief they have in their teammates, the belief that they have in the team as a whole. Can't say enough about them. I mean, you cannot go through more ups and downs than these kids have. You cannot have more adversity hit you in the face than these kids have, right, in the game of football. But again, it's football. They understand that the football is a game. They understand that what's important in life. And, it was a great way for these guys to work through the week and go out and play a complete game. And the defensive line did an outstanding job of sticking to the plan, getting pressure on the quarterback, affecting the quarterback. We didn't know if there was going to be that many opportunities to get sacks. We knew if they kept pressuring the pressuring the quarterback, it would make him make mistakes. Understanding their rush lanes, the discipline within their rush lanes, to be able to condense the pocket, make him make throws off level. The back end for, we knew there were going to be some big plays here and there. We knew that they were going to get their chunks, but the overlap in the defense to keep some of those big plays from ending up being touchdowns. They were running a counter scheme, counter Y scheme early in the game. We got it adjusted, got it fixed. As the second half went along, gave up an explosive run to start the game there on that side of the ball. But I can't say enough about the plan that Andrew put together, and really between Andrew and Boogie and Travaris on the back end, and DT and Larry with the mechanics that were working in the rush lanes and the rush games that they were doing up front on the offensive side of the ball. Both those quarterbacks to go and complement each other throughout the game, understand the game plan, understand what we wanted to do with those guys. When it was time to throw the ball, we have guys up front protected very well tonight. The running the ball early, some of it wasn't as pretty as we wanted it to be, but as the game went on, we started popping some bigger runs, some 4, some of those 3 yards, 2 yards, ended up being some 6-7 yard runs, 8-yard runs. To be able to mix in the throws versus some of the blitz that they had in the quarterback run game with Tyson. All in all, I think it was a well-earned win by our guys, and a hard-fought win, and really excited for them.
Okay, we'll go ahead and take questions. Kelly, started.
You guys were down 17-0, and
was it really?
And it seemed like an opportunity where maybe a lot of teams would fold up the tent, particularly against this level team. Can you talk about the last drive before the half when you guys scored the touchdown? It seemed like they were kind of daring you to do something there by calling the timeout and trying to get the ball back. It seemed like you guys responded at that point, and then
I think when our guys play together and they believe in the plan, I think we're a pretty darn good team too, Kelly. I think we have it. I don't know if there's anybody in that locker room that can tell you right now that it was 17-0. I didn't know it was 17-0. That's who this team is. That's who they've become. Regardless of score, regardless of adversity, regardless of what takes place within a game, it's about playing one play at a time. Leaving the last play behind, learning from it, playing that way for 60 whole minutes. And if you do that, you end up having a chance.
100.
And that's what they did tonight.
Go ahead, Ken.
You mentioned the game plan. What elements of it would you say people might have been surprised or wouldn't have believed you could do?
It was just, we wanted to shrink the game in the first half offensively. We wanted to be able to possess the ball, control the tempo of the game. And when you say control the tempo of the game, controlling the tempo of the game doesn't always mean playing with fast tempo. Controlling the tempo of the game means playing to the tempo that you want to on offense. And then that, in turn, helps the defense. I think we were up 7 minutes at halftime, time of possession. Ended up in the game, right around 10 minutes. It was like 10 minutes on the plus side in time of possession. That was part of the plan. we had to limit their possessions on offense. They're an explosive offense. Quarterbacks are a really, really good football player. They have good skill, and we had to limit those opportunities for them to be on the field. And when you do that, obviously you're shrinking the football game. So you have to be effective in your possessions. And we had an aggressive mindset going in with fourth downs, of going for it on fourth. Some of the kind of the benchmarks that we had set were right there. Early on, the first drive of the game, we were prepared crossing the 50-yard line, going for it on fourth. We had a negative yardage play that set us back a little bit. I think it ended up being 4th and 5, but 4th and 4 was a go moving forward there. So the kids understood that. They understood the aggressive game plan that we had, because if you're going to be in a ball control game and a clock sucking game where you're going to do that, you've got to be able to extend drives with some explosives. You got to be able to extend drives with some fourth downs. You got to be able to extend drives, in different ways than normal. So they bought into it. They believed in it. The coaches did an outstanding job through the week of coaching up what the plan was, and the kids believed in it and played the game that way.
Jonathan.
You mentioned the plan, and then it seemed like the tale of two halves. Did you guys make any adjustments at halftime, or was it more a case of continuing to do what you're doing, waiting for it to wear them down? I'm just trying to curious as to how that played out for you guys.
Yeah, you can look at you can do all the planning you want as far as the statistical part of it and analytical part of it through the week, which we rely very heavy on that. That's something I really believe in. But when the ball's kicked off in the game, you've got to be able to rely on your gut. You got to be able to rely on what your feeling for the game is. You can't be affected by outside factors and change the course of action. And by doing that within the game, sticking to that plan in the first half, and then able to get that touchdown right before halftime and cut it to a two-score game, there was a huge feeling there that it was going in the right direction. If we could continue to possess the ball in the second half, continue to eat some chunks up on the ground and flip the field position that way, we would end up having a chance. And then the middle eight of the game, we've talked about before, that's such a critical part of the football game. To get that score there at the end of the first half was really big. John, just for with them getting the starting the second half, but for us, momentum wise as well.
Got time for 2 or 3 more. We'll go Patrick, and then we'll come over here.
Coach Key, sort of the same theme, but 2 big sad points. Could have been the 80-yard run out of the gate, and then the missed field goal opportunity. And your guys could have let it down a little bit. Hey, it seemed like they intensified from there, especially in the second half.
Yeah, I mean,
same process you're talking about.
Yeah, same process. One play at a time. Play for 60 minutes. You have to put the play behind you. Plays behind you. That's what they did. I looked at them after they came off the field on that 80-yard run to start the game. I said, "Hey, boys, you've only played one game. You shouldn't be tired, or one play. You shouldn't be tired. Let's get ready to go." So,
Gabriel.
Yeah, how proud are you of just the final drive and the way those guys finished, and moving the chains and not giving the ball back?
Yeah, that's the name of the game. I mean, you play the game within different phases, and the management of the game as it goes down between offense and defense, and how the kicking game is going to play out there. But at the end of the day, if you can line up and take time off the clock, and give North Carolina credit. I mean, they went into that final drive. They had 3 timeouts with 7 minutes to go in the 7 minutes to go in the game. So you're up against a huge challenge right there when you're trying to move the football to kill the game, but at the same time they've got 3 timeouts. So you've got to be pretty effective on most all of your plays within there to be efficient football plays, knowing they have the timeout. So to see those guys do that and be able to move the ball. I tell you, the huge play was that one to Hassan. Yeah. And they brought blitz 0. They brought a saw blitz, played cover 0 with it. We knew they were going to play cover 0. We free released the back in a 5-man protection. And regardless if you had 9 guys or 5 guys protecting, they're going to bring one more. So we went with Chip called a 5-man protection, free released the back into the flat. He ran a good route, and the quarterback just kind of Larry Birded it over the top. Hassan made a good play, and football gods were on our side today.
Right over here.
Heading into this game, how confident were you in your defense's ability to defend in the red zone well? Because UNC had 4 trips to the red zone and only had 10 points from those 4 trips. I mean, obviously there was an interception there as well, but it seemed like you guys avoided the big play tonight and were able to come up big in the red zone. Yeah, I mean that's one of the huge situational aspects of the football game that you have to be good in. Whether it's offense or defense in the red area. We had one kind of snappy one field goal early in the game. We were able to overcome that as the game went along.
And but yeah, I mean, that's just part of the situational ball that is so important, whether it's the red area, the short yardage situations that become huge factors in the game, or even when you're backed up, being able to push the ball and gain a first down, help flip the field position.
Okay, we'll go ahead and wrap up with Coach. We'll get the players in here for you guys. So.